chilly.
Yo, it has been about 2 weeks since my last video. So sorry about that. Honestly, I've been going through it lately, man. I've been going through it. The last 2 weeks has been the weeks of L's, man. A lot of losses, a lot of flukes, and just random things just going wrong for me. But I mean, I was kind of trying to not in the mood to, make a video talking about a bunch of negativity and whatnot, so I postponed it. But I don't want to just talk about all the good stuff and all the wins. Gotta include it all. Talk about losses and all the bad stuff on this channel. But right now I'm on lunch for my 9-to-5 job. And no, it's not the new job. Unfortunately, that fell through. I went to the final interview on my last video, and yeah, my gut was telling me it didn't go too well, and yeah, they ended up not going with me. I wasn't even that surprised, honestly. Yeah, like they were gonna tell me like up to 2 weeks after if I got the job or not, but my boy that already works there gave me the cut, and he's trying to ask my interviewee or my interviewer what if they liked me or not and what's gonna happen. But apparently she was like avoiding answering, talking to him and answering his question, so he had to go around her to someone else that he knew in her department, and they're like, yeah, no, they didn't like him, they like me. So and apparently from what my friend said, she kind of had she has a vendetta against
those boys like me herself, because
apparently I reminded her of someone that used to work there that she didn't like or something like that. I don't know. Some of it is a speculation, but I mean, yeah. When I remember in the interview, she was kind of bitchy. But no hard feelings. The hiring manager, you gotta hire, who you think is good. So whatever. If they didn't like me, they didn't like me. But so that was the start of it. I mean, that was the start of the bad news. And then I'm getting sushi right now. It's been a while since I got some sushi. I guess you could say that was the start of it. And then after that, shortly after that, my friend, because I was looking for a place for one of my clients, and we were trying hard, man. Every single time we sent in an offer, even before we were able to send in an offer for a place the places that they liked, sometimes they would just come and they would just get taken right off the market before we can even see the place. And sometimes some of the agents, buying agents, or sorry, the listing agents, wouldn't even. A lot of times they don't even respond to. Like if you try to book a showing or confirm something or have a question, they won't even talk. They won't even give you the time of day. So just to get an idea of how crazy the market really is right now. Yeah, they don't want to talk to you unless you just go ahead and send them an offer. At this point, it's getting worse and worse too. At this point, there's not even any time to book and go see the place before you even send an offer. At this point, you're gonna have to, if you're working with an agent, you just need to send an offer through. Look, find a place that's good enough, meets your criteria, and just send an offer, because it's crazy right now, man. But anyways, yeah, so after the third try of sending an offers through and getting rejected, my client basically said, they basically gave up. They're basically like, I'm gonna try getting things later. So that hurt. When you put in so much effort, we're working together for a month at least, and when you're working, doing all this grind for someone, and then you don't get anything in return, it's like, damn. But even more so, he's a good friend of mine, and I couldn't find him a place. Well, or rather, he couldn't get an offer accepted. But still, so that was a bummer. He was looking to move out and stuff. So that tacked on to that. And then all the while, I am trying to. I had gotten started with Lyft, and I was driving. I drove a few days. But so what happened was, if you recall, I was fixing my car. And I had just gotten my car back, and I started Lyft. But when they fixed my car, they did not put on a new wheel well lining. And my car is modded. I don't have a stock intake. My intake, I have like a what's called a Cobra intake. So it's like a long race intake that like stretches all the way down to the inside of my bumper, like close to the ground. And my car is lowered as well. So they fixed everything, but they didn't put the wheel well lining to cover the intake from the wheel. So if like water splashes up there, then I could potentially I think it's called water soaked or something, or water locked, I think is what it's called. And so but when I got the car back, I was like, is this gonna be a problem? Like, should I be worried about this? They're like, oh no, you'll be good. If water gets on it, it's fine. Just if a lot of water gets on it, it'll be fine. I was like, okay. And then they said that they'll call me back when they get the part in about a week. And I start driving Lyft. It's pretty sweet. Get some money on. And then it rains one day. Actually, I think it was the day after. I had failed the job interview, and then my friend bailed out on getting a place. And it was shortly after that. So it started raining while I was doing Lyft. And I'm thinking, that's not going to be a problem as long as I just don't, drive into any puddles or something crazy, like a big splash of puddle or something getting into my intake. But, it was raining and I didn't go into any puddles or anything. It was just raining. To be fair, a decently amount, I guess. But it was just raining alone, and my car breaks down on my first ride. My car breaks down when I have this passenger in some north area, South Florida, kind of like Boca Del Rey. So it's like some fancy dude. He acted nice about it, but you could tell that he was not happy about that, because I had to let him out of my car in the middle of, I don't know where the hell we were. Hopefully he knew better, but it was raining pretty bad, and I just let him right out. I was like, I didn't know what the hell to do. So that was a bummer, man. And that pretty much was like the icing on the cake, at the end of all this going on. Oh, and not to mention all this car stuff is costing a lot of money, because the reason I got it fixed was because me and my friend messed up my front bumper, and then I messed up my back bumper, and all together that put me down in a hole, man, with money I didn't have. So on top of that, now my car broke down, gotta tow it, gotta bring it to Tires Plus. And actually, right before that happened, I just had at Tires Plus. I forgot what it was for. I think I just needed an oil change. I needed a maintenance light, and it had an oil change. That was money I didn't exactly have. So I brought it right back to them, and I was trying to play it off like they did something to it. But no, they were like, no, there's nothing that we did to it that would cause it to break down like this. They as far as they could tell, there wasn't anything wrong with it by the time they got it in the morning. Which is another thing. All this is going on, and I towed it that night to Tires Plus, and in the morning I forgot to leave the key in the car, so I had to walk my ass all the way back to Tires Plus. Luckily, it's kind of down the street, but I had to do this all before. I had to go into work late and walk my ass back and forth just to get in the key. And Tires Plus is terrible. You gotta leave it there all day long, for the most minute thing. And so, but then they ended up saying there wasn't anything wrong with it. And I'm flipping out. And I'm trying to find a place that would be able to fix it soon. Because I had a plan to take PTO for the next following week. And while I was on PTO, don't tell my boss if you're watching. Sorry, bro. But I was gonna take PTO. The PTO I took for 5 days straight, I was gonna just do Lyft while I was doing that. So, and I guess this was gonna start in a day or so. It's hard to remember all the details because I kind of waited too long. It was about a couple of weeks ago or so. But this is the gist of it. So yeah, I was trying to make sure my plan was crumbling. Everything's falling through. I'm using all this money I don't have. So those are just the L's that come up right now. I mean, what happened after that? After that, I guess I got my car back. Oh yeah, and then Lyft deactivated my account because I guess the guy that I had it dropped off in the rain more than likely complained to them, and so they deactivated my account. And then Lyft was like, "Oh, you gotta go to a mechanic to do a 19-point test." So I had to do a 19-point test for them to reactivate my account. So at this point, my car is driving fine, but I'm not sure if there might actually still be a serious issue with it. I guess supposedly there might be water that have gotten into my turbo. So that if that happened, that would be really serious. You know, in retrospect, I mean, come back to you now in the future. Right now, I'm telling you, there's not anything wrong with it, but I had to do a 19-point test, and so they sent me an email, Lyft, and it said you could go to a certified mechanic and do this test, or you can come to us and do this test. Here's our website to search our locations, our Lyft hubs. So I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna do it with Lyft because they're not gonna charge me for this or whatever. So I go find the nearest hub. It's an hour away from me, right? It's Miami. I'm in Boca, if you didn't know. And I take the time, you know, on my PTO, I'm like trying to do this fast. I take the time, I drive all the way over there, and just for them to tell me, like, oh no, you don't do the test with us. You have to. It has to be mechanic. Even though the email they sent me clearly says that I could do it with them. So that was like, that was wild to me, you know. Huge waste of gas and resources. And then they at least gave me a physical copy of the 19-point test, so it wasn't all bad. I also used the chance to like get as much as possible, so I guess I grabbed one of these from them. They're little Lyft stickers, which is kind of cool. I could put it on the front of my car so people know I'm their Lyft driver. But anyways, I grabbed the sheet, and then I have to wait to I drop my car off at my dealer the next day, and they do a test, and I've been wanting to get my transmission fluids done as well, so I had them do that, which I probably should have waited out on, but luckily they had a payment plan, so I was like, let's just do it. Oh, I just remembered another issue I had when this was going on. I had an MLS issue, and I had to throw down like $700 for MLS, but maybe I'll get into that. And then so I do the test and I bring it back to them the next day, right? I drive all the way back to the hub just to submit this paper, and so they can reactivate my account. And I was planning on maybe just starting doing Lyft. As soon as I do that, just hop back on the road and make up some of these losses in rides on Lyft. I go back, and guess what? Nope, you don't bring it back. You don't bring the paper back to us. And mind you, they told me I need to bring the paper back to them the day prior, which I forgot to mention, but yeah, they told me to bring the paper back. So I brought the paper back, completed, passed, and they're like, oh no, you don't bring it to us, you just email it, you respond to the initial email, and you give it, and then they'll get back to you in a day or so. So I'm just
like, what in the world? You gotta be kidding me.
But you know, I kept my cool, you know, I'm trying to practice patience, you know. So, and then but that was just like, it was just crazy how much is added on to all this. And not to mention right before my car broke down, that night before I started driving and picked up my first passenger and my car broke down, I was like just so down and out, you know, from the job interviews and stuff, and you know, my clients bailing in real estate. But you know, I had a little bit of cash because I think I had just gotten paid, and like what I was left from paying off my bills and stuff. And I was down and out, and then some lady frantically approaches me at the gas station while I'm filling my gas tank to start driving for that night before my car broke down. And she was coming to me frankly. She had a nice SUV. Her kid is in the car, and you know, she wasn't poor or anything, but she was like begging me for money basically. She was panhandling for money. She had like these documents of like transactions, trying to prove that she was like broke or something like that. And I could tell she was genuine too. She was like trying to hold back tears and whatnot. And she seemed pretty nice. And she was like frantic, trying to explain her story without being, you know, trying to seem like a crazy person. And you know, I had it tithed that month, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna help her out. There's no way I'm not gonna give her anything. So I happen to have some money, and I gave her like $100 at that point, trying to be nice. And then like some other dude came out of the, you know, the store or the gas station, and gave her like some money. So that you know, that made me feel a little bit good. I was like, it hurt at that time to get the money, but I was like, you know, I couldn't do it for God, you know. And then, but that just hurt because then when my car broke down, I had to tow my car. That junk added up to like, I think it was like about almost like 180 or something for that whole process to get it towed over here. So there was just all these like different little things, man, just adding up. Oh, and then that just reminds me of my bumper, my side skirts. I bought side skirts and I bought a front lip. My front lip had came off like a while ago, but my side skirts were still on the car. When I was doing my first week of Lyft, I was driving around, and for some reason this one day, all these speed bumps of these neighborhoods I was at had like these crazy mountain ass speed bumps, and my car is too low, so every time I go over the speed bumps, I would just hear it be snapping on my side skirts. I'll try to put a picture of how they used to look, but yeah, it was low, man. And I had the side skirts for like, I don't know, like months at this point, and they've never hit speed bumps, ever. No speed bumps. They never hit speed bumps when I like go into divots. They never hit divots. I never had to, like, you know, how low riders have to go curved up a speed bump. I never had to do that, but just one day, everyone's neighborhood had these speed bumps that were just cracking my side skirts until by the end of the night, one snapped off, and I was just dragging on the floor. Like, I got into this dude's neighborhood, speed bump after speed bump. I was like hitting I was hitting the speed bumps, and the dude's like, whoa, oh shit. Like, he was like freaking out because of how loud and disturbing the sound was. And then until finally, like, you heard it just bust, and then you just heard it dragging loud as ever down the street until I dropped off at the drop-off location. Oh man, yeah, that night I had it. But yeah, unfortunately, with all this going on, I did succumb to cigarettes, man. I was doing so good too with cigarettes. Like, I mean, when the year started, it was kind of so-so, but when I went hard on my with the tea, with the honey tea, the Arizona honey tea, I did at least a good week and a half of just no cigarettes at all, and I was doing good. But then after, what topped it off was when my car broke down. When my car broke down in the rain, and I was just stranded in the rain, just defeated. That's when I gave in, man. I was able to pull into a Publix when it broke down. This video's going on a little bit long, but I'm gonna go get some sushi, and you know, a lot's been going down, but you know what? I know that God has a plan for me, you know. And if whatever's happening, it's all because He's trying to show me something. And you know, I think personally, I could be better in His eyes, if that makes sense. You know, not to go too deep into it, but I think he's trying to show me. You know, I applied at a few more other, you know, med staffing places, which the interviews went well, but they got back to me shortly after saying they found someone else. But you know, maybe that's just not where I need to be right now. So I'm just gonna take it easy. You know, keep doing what I'm doing. I'm currently still driving Lyft. Currently still working with some clients for real estate, and my guitar students, they've had COVID lately, so this week I should start up with them. I got a new student actually that should be starting this weekend as well. So it's been pretty bad lately, but it looks, I can see everything coming. It's about to come back up. I'm not gonna let it deter me, you know, because like all in all, I still have it pretty good. You know, everything that's happened, I'm still where I'm at. You know, still got a roof over my head. Car's working fine now, and I still got a lot going for me. I'm healthy, so we'll see what happens. I'm still gonna try my best, give my all, achieve these goals. But yeah, in the meantime, guys, keep rocking out, keep rocking on. Stay faithful. Stay loyal. Most of all,